Okay, welcome into another rendition of high school basketball, folks. Here on Next Level Broadcasting, we got another Lake Michigan Conference clash on tap tonight between the Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators and the Boyne City Ramblers. We're live from Traverse City, Michigan. This game initially scheduled to be played last Friday, but due to inclement road and weather hazards and just overall snowstorm and blizzard-like conditions last Friday, this game was canceled and then moved to tonight. And these two teams coming in another opportunity for both of these squads to pick up a conference win. Last night, the Gladiators picked up a 9-point win over the Harbor Springs Rams. The Boyne City, as they coming in, they definitely need to get back to their winning ways. They had a little 5-game winning streak over the course of December, played a couple games over Christmas break, and then they lost a tough one to Charlevoix in a heartbreaking fashion on a buzzer beater. So they dropped that conference game. St. Francis trying to keep pace with the likes of Grayling, Elk Rapids, and Charlevoix at the top of the Lake Michigan Conference. Boyne City also trying to enhance their Lake Michigan Conference resume as well. So this game has a lot on the line for these two conference opponents. As I want to welcome in my broadcast counterpart tonight, Shane Smith, who'll be joining me. Shane, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Charles. I'm excited as ever to be down here in Traverse City. Great night for basketball, although it is a Wednesday night. This has the feels of a typical Friday night game against two high-caliber teams like the Gladiators and the Ramblers. Just as you were saying here a moment ago, the Ramblers are coming into this one 7-4. They are third in the conference with a 3-2 record, whereas St. Francis is coming into this one with a 4-2 record, good for second, right behind Charlevoix with a 5-1 record.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of a log jam at the top of the Lake Michigan Conference. But if you're just now joining us and tuning in, we want to thank you for tuning in to the Cherry Capital Airport pregame show here on Next Level Broadcasting. Just as I said, Charles Trail, Shane Smith, and Burr Ari bringing this game to you live. Shane, you mentioned the top of the Lake Michigan Conference standings. Charlevoix is up there. Grayling is up there.
Yep.
St. Francis with the 4-2 conference record. Boyne City with only 2 losses, a 3-2 conference record. So both of these teams coming in with even loss column statistics. St. Francis with 1 more conference game played so far, but don't let the St. Francis record fool you. If you're just now watching if this is your first Gladiator game you've watched all season long, they've played some tough non-conference opponents at the beginning of their season and or non-conference play. You know, facing the likes of Muskegon, Spring Lake, Grand Haven, so some very formidable teams that they've played. So don't let that record fool you. If you're looking online, Max Preps, or wherever you source your information for high school basketball standings, that record might be a little deceiving.
That's exactly right. I mean, when you have the in-conference record tied with some of the best in the best or darn close to it, I mean, that shows the toughness here that the Gladiators have so far put forth in this conference season. Now, I was there for a couple of those games downstate in Grand Haven against those downstate teams who always have another level of toughness. They've got a lot, oftentimes a lot bigger kids, a greater number of kids to pick from in their school system, and so they bring just sometimes an extra level of competitiveness, and Traverse City St. Francis played excellently with all of them. It was a close loss in the first game, and they handily won the second, and it was a joy to watch, and it's a joy to be here covering yet another game between the Gladiators, this time with the Ramblers of Boyne City.
So, as we stated earlier, Boyne City with 3-2 conference record, St. Francis a 4-2 conference record. They're both looking up at Charlevoix that they've both lost to. So the Raiders at the top of the Lake Michigan Conference standings. These teams need a win to keep pace with the Raiders, as the Raiders are kind of getting into a little easier part of their schedule, but they do have a big game Friday night versus Elk Rapids. So if the Raiders lose Friday, whoever wins this game would be tied for first place in the Lake Michigan Conference. So a lot on the line here, as we alluded to earlier, as we've got about 8 minutes before the national anthem and the starting lineups here. This is the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport pregame show. We're going to go ahead, step aside, and be back in about a minute with some more coverage of the pregame show. We'll be back right after this.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now. Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, coming right back into our Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport pregame show. Charles Trail, Shane Smith here. We've got just about 7 minutes until the national anthem starts playing over the loudspeakers, and what a game we've got in front of us. What is typically a Friday night showdown is now moved to a Wednesday night here between two powerhouse programs in the Lake Michigan Conference. Boyne City sitting one spot behind right now the Gladiators, 3-2 for the Ramblers and 4-2 for the Gladiators, sitting 1 win behind the Raiders and Grayling, the Vikings. Yeah, we're sitting tied atop the rankings right now, Charles.
Certainly, you have a top-heavy conference.
Yeah.
Where oftentimes in years past there might have been one perennially more stronger team. Certainly, some of the Boyne City teams of recent memory, some of the Gladiator teams of recent memory. Obviously, the Gladiator team last year lost in the Class C state championship game.
Yeah.
So that Gladiator team actually tied for a conference championship with Boyne City. So there's a little bad blood right now between these two teams as Boyne City defeated Traverse City St. Francis, and last year in Boyne City was the first time that I believe the Ramblers had beaten the Gladiators in almost about 10 years. So there's a lot of, how do I want to say, pent up angst, partial animosity, but also a lot of just competitive juices that these kids are out here waiting to uncork and really lay it all out on the line tonight.
I was just about to say that those feelings come with any big rivalry, just like you see it here. I mean, this is going up against the likes of Charlevoix and Boyne City. Boyne City, obviously, and the Gladiators, Elk Rapids and the Gladiators. You just have these rivalries that go on for decades and decades and build up all this energy, and every now and then they get to uncork a little bit of it in a fine fashion here in these games, just about 5 minutes away from tip-off here. But it'll be interesting to see. Both teams have lost some of their firing power from recent seasons.
Yeah.
But they've got a lot coming up in the ranks, too. I mean, you got Max Ogden, who's a great player, Eli Bigger, Harrison Shepard, of course, Bobrowski, and Kerr, all for the Glads, while you've got Chas Stanek, who's your star player for the Ramblers, Ryan Spate right there, Drew Neer, and Jaden Alger. Kind of those big guns there for the Ramblers that have come up and filled in the shoes of recent teams' history.
And looking at the rosters right now and watching these two teams play a couple of times this year, I think the real matchup's going to be inside tonight, Shane.
Okay.
I'm looking at the matchup between Chas Stanek and whether it's Isaac Kerr for the Gladiators or if it's Isaiah Millward. Those combination of that matchup between Millward, Stanek, Kerr, and Stanek, I think it's going to be a deciding factor in tonight's game. Last night, Isaiah Millward and Isaac Kerr, they played a really good game going up against the Harbor Springs Rams. The Rams played a zone defense, which forced Kerr and Millward to catch the ball at the high post, turn and find an open teammate, look opposite quickly to open shooters. The Gladiators opened that up in the second half by being able to find Max Ogden as he led the way for 33 points last night. That was his third game scoring more than 30 points on the season. So by far and away the leading scorer in the Lake Michigan Conference. So Max Ogden definitely on the top of the scouting report for the Ramblers tonight. And no, the Ramblers don't really have a lot of star power, but what they do have is a team that plays together and a team that plays well as a sum of its parts.
You know, I'd have to liken that to the Lions right now. I mean, that's about what you have. You don't have exactly a team full of stars, but you've got a team that knows how to work together, that can get through the grind, that can power themselves through just about anything, any sort of, scenario, win or loss, and that's what the Ramblers have going up against the Gladiators tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how the Gladiators can handle that. This is the first meeting of the season between the two teams in terms of basketball, so we're excited to see it here, Charles, with just about 3 minutes until the national anthem starts playing here.
Yeah, Shane, I mean, you mentioned it and touched on it right there. Boyne City, it's really what Rambler team is going to show up.
Yeah.
And it's also a question of what Gladiator team is going to show up. When the Gladiators do a good job of taking care of the basketball and not forcing or committing silly turnovers, they're a very formidable foe. When the Ramblers rebound defensively with the same intensity that their opponent does, they're very challenged. They're a very challenging team to beat, and they're dangerous because they out-rebounded the Raiders. And you could argue that Boyne City probably should have come away with that game.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Versus Charlevoix.
It just happened to be an excellent pass up to Troy Nickel and got the 2 points. I mean, it was a little bit of a lucky pass there and a little bit of a lucky play as it went in with about 0.4 of a second to go before the buzzer went off. Now, Traverse City, I had the pleasure of calling those games downstate over Christmas break, and I saw exactly what you were describing, Charles. The first game, they lost by a few points. That was just by a matter of the fact that they couldn't take care of the ball that well. There were several turnovers. Now, Spring Lake was a very accomplished team, but Traverse City was, St. Francis was hanging right there with them the whole time, just a matter of the turnovers. They cleaned that up in the second game against Muskegon Christian, and it was a lights-out game from St. Francis, won that one handily. So it'll all be interesting to see how this one boils down to tonight.
Well, you've got it right here. This has been the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport halftime show. Charles Strail, Shane Smith, Bert Aubrey getting you ready to go here from St. Francis High School as the Ramblers getting ready to take on the Gladiators. First-year head coach, we do want to make mention for the Boyne City Ramblers. Leading the way is head coach Rob Jensen, assisted by Brock Yanglin and Jack Neer. So the Ramblers with the very young coaching staff. Looks like some of their members on their team could probably still lace up the shoes and get out there and play, Shane.
No doubt about it. Boy, oh boy, some of them without any facial hair look younger than I do.
As Gladiators coached by Sean Finnegan, assisted by Chuck Schuba. So we'll see as the Gladiators are rocking their alternative uniforms tonight. The gold with the blue trim, Boyne City, and the dark blue red trim. Some good fashion senses and fashion display out on display tonight for this showdown game, Shane, as we're going to briefly, in just a moment, stand and pay our due respects to our country. Then the starting lineups coming up after that. This is going to be a doozy of a game, Shane, and right now everybody tuning in, hopefully you're getting geared up for this one. This is going to be a very fun game to enjoy.
No doubt about it. I cannot wait to call this showdown just about as good as you get here for the Lake Michigan Conference.
So we're going to send it over across to public address announcer as
welcome our friends to the north, along with their coaches and fans, the Ramblers of Boyne City. The athletes in the Lake Michigan Conference would like to show their support and commitment to sportsmanship. We understand this commitment to include respect, responsibility, and restraint. It is citizenship in action. We ask each of you to join us in making this a positive experience for everyone. Now we ask you to rise. Gentlemen, kindly remove your caps to join us in our pregame invocation, followed by our national anthem. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Lord, we ask you to bless these ball players and all who have gathered here. We pray that everyone bears in mind that tonight's gathering is simply a ball game. Please guide our actions both on and off the court to represent your teachings at all times. Grant, we pray, that tonight each player competes with a strong body, a clear mind, and a pure heart. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. The privilege of this event was made possible and preserved by those who have fought and those who continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. Let us now honor and respect their efforts and sacrifices. All veterans, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute, and everyone else, please place your hand over your heart as we proudly sing our national anthem.
Okay, ready to get back into this one, and time to meet and greet your starters. For the Boyne City Ramblers, I'll then hand it over to Shane. For the Gladiator starters, it'll be senior Chaz Stanek, junior Ryan Spate, junior Cameron Rakovich, number 5 Drew Neer, the sophomore, and 10 junior Jaden Alger. Shane, I can handle the Gladiators here too, if you don't mind.
Sure.
The starters for St. Francis tonight will be Max Ogden, Eli Bigger, Harrison Shepard, Chris Bobrowski, and Isaac Kerr. So the Gladiators going with the same starting 5 that played and started against the Harbor Springs Rams last night in last night's contest. So if it's not broke, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. You just got to hope for the Gladiators that they have the same amount of energy that they carried last night in that 9-point win.
Yeah,
2 games back-to-back can be quite a bit sometimes.
Gladiators played 9 players last night, knowing that they had a back-to-back on deck. So because of that, I'd look for them to be pretty fresh coming into this game, and the legs shouldn't be too tired. Outside of Shepard and Ogden, who are probably their most well-conditioned athletes, they played most of the game, but everybody else should be ready to go tonight.
Well, we're excited to see it here. Gladiators just got done with their last young man there on the starting lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just about ready to get underway in what will be one beautiful showing of a game here between these 2 top teams in the Lake Michigan Conference. 2 year-long foes, year-round for decades now, right here in downtown Traverse City. You don't get much better than this, and a beautiful historic gym. This has always been one of my favorite in the area. And here we go for tip-off. Charles, it's a joy to be here with you.
Oh, this is going to be fun, Shane.
That's right.
Alger and Kerr to tip it off.
The jump's up. Alger bats that one away, but that will be St. Francis ball to start here. Nice little tip there. Gladiators just letting that one run out right in front of their own bench. The immediate throw inside to start off the clock. Here we go. Downtown Traverse City. Ogden at the top of the arc, working his way around. Quick pass now to number 12, Bobrowski. He stops in the paint, gets it back over to Bigger. Ogden once again, pass over to Shepard. Glads looking to make their first score here as Ogden works it into the paint, goes for the jumper. That one falls short, picked back up by Neer. The long pass intercepted by the Glads, not able to get a handle on that one before going out of bounds. It will remain Rambler possession.
Yeah, I think both teams just trying to settle in right now, Shane. One turnover or one potential turnover for the Ramblers, but got bailed out by Bobrowski stepping on the out-of-bounds line.
So here we are, the first three-pointer, no good. That was number 10, Alger there for the Ramblers. Going back the other way with Harrison Shepard in control of the ball now. 45 seconds have gone by. Past Ogden, top of the arc, staring down Stanek.
This is a good matchup right here. Boyne City putting Stanek on Ogden.
But the shot up and in. That was Bobrowski for 2. The first point scored in tonight's matchup.
Yeah, Bobrowski doing a little job working the 2-man game with Ogden. Caught the little dribble handoff and knocked down the free throw line J.
The pass up court broken up by Bigger. But that'll remain Boyne City Rambler ball. Still a 2-0 game with number 3, Ryan Spate, taking care of the inbound duties under the basket. Looking for a man. Gets it off to number 4, Cameron Rakovich. Top of the arc, he's working his way around, trying to get the ball passed off. Indeed he does, to Stanek. Back over to Spate now. Boyne City trying to get something going here. Still scoreless after a minute and a half gameplay. Stanek gets that one up and in and draws the foul.
Yeah, so we saw a little high ball screen for the Ramblers, and the Gladiators didn't really know how they wanted to cover that one. Isaac Kerr switched on to it, and then the Gladiators tried to switch back to it, but by time it was all over, I mean, Spate had already gotten downhill, got his shoulder squared with the backboard, and has a chance for the three-point play.
So I'll leave Spate there at the line, and Stanek to drive that one in. Do apologize, that is number 3, Ryan Spate, as Stanek now gets the steal, works his way to the baseline, twirls around, not able to get that one to fall in. Alger there draws the foul once again.
So right now you can see the height and length and physicality on display for Boyne City between Alger, Stanek, and then Spate being physical. You know, Spate not tremendously tall, but able to put his body and play physical going to the basket.
Alger will leave his first attempt short there. On the other side of this, 6:21 to go in the first quarter. Still a 3-2 game at the moment. Both free throws missed there by Alger, going back the other way. Number 12, Bobrowski in control right now, going up against a couple of Ramblers. The pass broken up by Drew Neer, and that will go in the favor of the Ramblers.
So far the Rambler defense, Shane, really starting to, I don't want to say intimidate the Gladiators, but just force them into some careless turnovers. Gladiators have had a propensity to have some first quarter turnovers.
Well, allow them to get the rust knocked off here. Stanek no good from the long three. Ramblers get a third opportunity here under the basket and finally gets blocked, and Bobrowski takes it back the other way. Not before another turnover in the hands of Rakovic now. Rakovic buried in the corner trying to get something off to a teammate. He gets it right back over now. He's at the top of the arc working his way around. The pass to Alger. He'll Euro step his way in for two more.
Yeah, the Ramblers just executed a nice little elbow pick and roll there. So far, 2 baskets coming off that ball screen pick and roll. St. Francis is going to have to figure out their coverage plan for that.
Well, we've got an answer back right there by Isaac Kerr. 5-4 game now. Apologize, that was Max Ogden. Gladiators with a steal right back. Ogden taking that coast to coast, and he brings the Gladiators right back in the lead. Quick spurt of 4 points to his tally. Ramblers down 1 point, 6-5. That one goes right between the legs of Alger. He's able to pick it back up. Off to Stanek now. He works his way in. No shot, no foul either. Going back the other way in control with Shepard. .440 to go here in the first. The long three falls off the heel. No good on the attempt by Ogden.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a heat check or if he just liked where he was standing on the floor there, but that was a quick shot possession for the Gladiators.
And that's Ryan Spate now backed up. He's got the ball once again, works his way short on the jumper, gets his own rebound, working under the basket, trying to get a shot up and in, no good. Picked back up and going the other way in the hands of Bigger. Harrison Shepard taken back over now, staring down number 3, Ryan Spate.
Yeah, Shane, go ahead. I was just going to say, neither team with a substitution already halfway through the first quarter.
A fast-flying first quarter this has been. Over 4 minutes have gone by now. Still a 6-5 score in favor of the Glads. Ogden with it once again. 4 points so far tonight for him. Clock's ticking. Taking a moment here to reset. No hurry. Number 2, Chas Stanek. Giving him a little intimidation. Why not? Ogden passes it off to Shepard. Working his way around the arc now. Back off to Bigger, now to Shepard once again. He'll go for the long two. That was tipped. Under the basket was Kerr. Back around we go to Bobrowski. Gladiators looking to take another opportunity here in a moment.
Yeah, so far 52nd possession for the Gladiators, Shane, given that you can call it an offensive rebound by Kerr, but really making Boyne City guard.
Very little penetration there by the Gladiators, and then over and back goes the other way.
So sometimes when you're guarding and playing defense for a full minute, you give up and have like a silly foul. That time Boyne City had some perseverance and was able to get a turnover.
So Chas Stanek now taking it, gets it off to Drew Neer. He'll go for the three, no good. Right back into the hands of Cameron Rakovic. He'll take it back outside to reset, 2:50 to go. Chas Stanek driving, working its way to the baseline, goes for the jumper, falls off the rim, picked back up by Bigger, and the Glads take it back the other way.
Yeah, Shane, I really like that move by Stanek going inside the paint. I think he's got to be the guy that initiates the offense for Boyne City, working against some mismatches that he might have on the perimeter.
Yeah,
that was an offensive foul called against the Gladiators.
That'll be on near.
Oh, I thought that was not.
Yeah, I did too. There we go. Correction.
Yeah.
Harrison Shepard picked it up. That's what I thought. And the PA announcer just took care of the business there. Made the correction. Chad Stanek now with the ball for the Ramblers. A long pass to number 4, Kemen Rakovic, basically running into Coach Finnegan there. We've got a jump ball scenario. The possession will remain with the Ramblers. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Things have slowed down a little bit. No score in the last about 2.5 minutes of gameplay. Remaining a 6-5 game. Number 10, Alger, with it. Shoves it over to Ryan Spate. Now to Stanek once again. Inside to Spate, broken up by number 12, Bobrowski, and it goes back the other way. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, both teams really trying to jam up the middle of the paint defensively. We'll see which team can kind of find their rhythm and flow here first.
Doing an excellent job of that so far. Very little inside penetration by both teams in the last almost 3 minutes now. Just as I say that, the swing back out to Bobrowski. That one falls short. Picked back up by Spate. The long heave up to Neer. He's under the basket and gets 2.
Yeah, good look up ahead from Spate to Neer. Found the open teammate, and Neer did a good job of not panicking once he got out in the open floor.
Got a foul call here that will be on number 10, Alger, for the Ramblers. That'll be his first, team's first this quarter. We've got a newcomer in tonight's game, Charles. That's number 2, J.P. Miller. The first substitution made by the Gladiators so far tonight.
Well, Miller checked in, Millward checked in a little bit earlier, and Michael Bohr has also checked in for the Gladiators. So a couple substitutes checking in for the Glads in the last couple of possessions.
Miller with the ball. Starting off hot here, gets it over to Shepard. Right back around we go to Bohr. The long 3 rims around and falls in from Miller. 9-7. The Glads take the lead back over the Ramblers.
Really nice possession by the Gladiators. Got a couple different swings from side to side. Got a dribble penetration kick out for an open shot for a shooter.
14, Owen Hewitt, newcomer for the Ramblers. Tried to get that one off to his teammate Rakovic. Couldn't get the handle on it. So the Glads will take it back the other way. Or will it be... Charles, what do we have going on here? Looks like it does remain in Rambler possession.
You answered your own question there, Shane.
Took a minute. Through all the bodies trying to see what was going on. Here we go. Stanek once again working his way around. Fires up, no good. Ramblers trying to get their own rebound, and they'll draw the foul. And that will be on number 14, Michael Bohr, his first, team's 4th now this quarter. Ramblers with only 1 foul so far. Alger at the line, drains the first one. Number 15. Apologize, number 13, Ryder Peck, in now for the Ramblers. 35 seconds to go in the first quarter on the other side of this. Alger gets a second one, 4 points to his tally now. 3 different Ramblers have scored so far in tonight's game, as well as 3 different Gladiators.
And we're tied at 9 apiece, so pretty even game, Shane.
That's exactly right. Miller spins around, puts that one up, no good. And that was Alger there for the rebound for the Ramblers. 21 seconds to go. Ryan Spate staring down Miller here, just about ready to cross the timeline.
Boyne City probably going to play for last shot of the quarter.
I would imagine so. But a drive from Stanek. He hits the pine but gets the 2. 6 seconds for the Gladiators to try and answer back. Miller loses it right back into the hands of the Ramblers, and that will end the first quarter of action, Charles. The Ramblers up in a narrow 11-9 lead.
Yeah, the Ramblers doing a good job of playing catch-up in that quarter. They were down by as many as 4 points. Now they head to the break between the first and second quarter up by 2 minutes. So after 8 minutes in the books, Ramblers up by 2 over the Gladiators, 11-9. We're going to go ahead and step aside. We'll be back in a minute with the second quarter action on Next Level Broadcasting right after these messages. With more than 18 years of construction and deck building experience, Renew It Decks and Outdoor Living wants you to know that they can customize and turn your deck and outdoor living space into something right out of your dreams. But wait, Renew It Decks and Outdoor Living is now hiring employees in the Grand Traverse area, featuring a competitive industry wage, 5 weeks of paid time off, profit sharing, a 401k match program, health insurance options, advancement opportunities, and full-time year-round work. For job inquiries, call 1-231-881-6282.
Welcome to Hudson's, where we strive to be more than a dealer, and we work hard to pair you with the right equipment. Whether your land spans thousands of acres or just a small yard, come visit us. At Hudson, we provide the service and expertise to get the job done right. And for a limited time, get 0% for 84 months on select John Deere compact utility tractors. To get a quote, come into your local Hudson or visit us online at hudsony.com.
And second quarter action just about ready to get underway here as the Gladiators inbound to start. Inbounded to J.P. Miller, who's got the last 3 points for the Gladiators. He hit a three-pointer in the first quarter. Only three-pointer of the game for the Gladiators as Miller looks to penetrate. 15-foot pull-up jump shot, no good. Around and out. Spate with the rebound comes crashing down, and a foul called against Isaiah Millward. And the Ramblers securing that defensive rebound. As we said in the pregame show, when Boyne City is able to rebound the ball effectively defensively, they're a very hard squad to beat. As it's passed around, trying to break this St. Francis pressure. Stonick has it on the far side of the court now, finds Peck. Back up top. And finally secured by Rakovic, and we got a jump ball. Possession arrow will favor the Ramblers. It was a held ball between Rakovic and Harrison Shepard. Two players that are not afraid to mix it up. So they got down and got dirty, and it'll be Boyne City basketball here. Stonick being guarded by Michael Bohr, putting his head down, getting all the way to the rim, had it blocked, but Alger right there to clean up the loose ends. And it's a 4-point advantage for the Ramblers as we welcome back in Shane Smith. Shane, it's a close game so far. Boyne City in the midst of a 6-0 run. And the Gladiators going inside to Millward, no good. And Alger coming away with that rebound. So we'll see what the Ramblers have in store here on this possession.
All righty, thank you, Charles. That was number 3, Ryan Spate, not able to connect there, so going back the other way with Michael Bohr. You're right, this is about as close as you can get, and we expected that between these two teams, the Glads and the Ramblers. This is your typical Friday night showdown, but just on a Wednesday night, as 14 Bohr drills in the 2. Ends that 6-0 run for the Ramblers. Brings the Glads right back within 2, 13-11. The pass up court to Spate once again, buried in the corner. Flings that one out to Peck. Now around to Alger under the basket and back over to Hewitt as he works his way into the paint and gets that one blocked by Isaiah Millward.
Yeah, that was a nice rejection by Millward, being able to be that last line of defense by the basket. And Hewitt went in there with a head of steam. He just didn't anticipate Millward being able to time that one as well as he did.
Millward flew up about 7.5 feet and made a beautiful block there. As we've got Spate throwing that one right back out to Stanek here. The Ramblers trying to get a couple more points on the board after the Gladiators answered back here. Around the arc we go with Hewitt. Pass to Spate once again. And inside went number 10, Alger, not able to get the 2 points, but he does draw the foul. And that foul will be once again on for Millward. It's his second, team's second so far in the quarter. Alger able to connect there, brings his total to 5 points so far tonight.
Shane, here was that block by Millward there, rejecting that one out of bounds. I mean, really nice play by him to get that one timed up and not come down into the body of Hewitt.
Yeah, that was an excellent job there. Great heads-up play indeed. Alger made his first free throw, gets the second, brings the Ramblers to the tie for the largest lead they've had tonight with 4 points, 15-11. 5:45 to go here in the first half. Miller trying to get it off in time. Indeed he does. Right back over to him it goes. Looking for somebody to hurry up and get it off to. He finds it in Michael Borer. He works into the paint. That one goes up and over the back of the backboard, and into the Rambler possession it goes.
Yeah, Shane, I think Borer just tried to get a shot up there, and once he got close to the rim, maybe panicked just a tad.
Oh, a nice interception there by Borer. Tips it right back over to himself now. Back to Miller in the corner.
Yeah, he certainly made up for that potentially ill-advised layup there with that steal.
Max King now in tonight's game. Right back over to Borer we go as the clock ticks down. Just about 5 minutes. Finding some trouble under the basket. Double team. And works his way back out is Bobrowski. Miller again with the ball. Back over to Bobrowski now. St. Francis swinging it around. Miller was under the basket. Gets it back over to Max King now. He's working around. Not able to get any sort of real penetration towards the basket. Boyne City doing an excellent job so far of keeping control of that. And they get the steal after another long possession by the Gladiators comes up fruitless. 15-11 remains the score. 4.5 here in the second quarter. Cameron Rakovic with the ball at the moment. Back over to Alger. 6 points tonight so far for him. Owen Hewitt working against the Glads. That was Max King all over him. Not able to get the ball to go in there. Going back the other way for the Glads. Trying to make something of this 4-point differential between the two teams.
Yeah, this is a pivotal point of the game for the Gladiators with Ogden on the bench. He's been on the bench for about 2.5 minutes now.
Yeah, the Glads are definitely feeling that at the moment. Max King gets it over to Miller. Not able to drill that one in once again. So back to King it goes here to try something new for the Glads.
There's a nice little post touch here to Miller.
He twirls around, not able to get that one to go in. Airballs it. The Glads fighting for that one. The Ramblers come away with it with Owen Hewitt going from end to end.
Well, Shane, there's certainly not a shortage of effort being on display tonight, as we just saw Michael Bohr with a very athletic attempt at saving that one. But on this side, Harrison Shepard just picked up a foul, and that's going to be his second foul.
Ogden's on the bench. Shepard and Millward both with 2 fouls apiece. Not exactly what the Gladiators want here as we take a timeout, Charles.
Apologize for that. I misspoke. The foul was on Max King. So not Harrison Shepard who picked up that foul. It was Max King who picked up that foul. So don't want to put a foul on Harrison Shepard that he didn't earn. Now I will say, previous games, I should say, sometimes players earn fouls that they didn't really deserve.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen before as well, but that's not the case here. So a 4-point lead for the Ramblers right now. I really think it's been the defensive ability for them to shut off the driving lanes that the Gladiators are trying to create. And it might come down to it. The Gladiators need to get a couple ball reversals and then like an empty side pick and roll, whether it's Ogden, Millward, or Kerr, to try and sort things out here to get this offensive rhythm back intact.
Well, we'll see how it turns out here with the Ramblers taking over the possession in their own end of the court, and that one sails past Drew Neer. He picks that one up at the opposing side. And so he'll get that right back over to Ryan Spate. Just under 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Still a 4-point lead that the Ramblers hold over the Glads. That shot by Alger, no good. Couldn't get his putback to go in either. But the Gladiators were not able to hang on to that one, so the Ramblers get yet another possession on this end of the court. Number 3, Ryan Spate taking care of the inbound duties once again. Finding a man in Drew Neer. wanted to go for that shot, but Isaac Kerr was all over him there. Ryan Spate taken back over. Passes it back over to Neer, now to Alger. Ran into 3 defenders there, and that was all she wrote for that possession for the Ramblers. Gladiators finally get it back in their hands. 3 minutes to go in the first half, down 4 still, 15-11.
Yeah, it's just been interesting how these two teams have been kind of going back and forth defensively. It's definitely been a showcase in terms of, if you wanted to get a coaching clinic on how to teach defense, you'd watch this game.
Speaking of showcase, Charles, you've got a showcase here coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah, we do, as Alger came down with that rebound, skied for it, and we do have that showcase coming up. That'll be February 10th. And you don't want to miss that one, folks. Let me tell you what, that is one of the epic events of our calendar year here at Next Level Broadcasting. So if you get an opportunity to be a part of that, you certainly want to be a part of that.
All right, well, still scoreless on the Gladiators side of things, so Stanek takes it back over for the Ramblers. Tall young man there indeed. And another foul goes on the Gladiator tally. This time it'll be on number 22, Isaac Kerr. That'll be his second now. Team's 5th so far in this quarter. The Ramblers do not have a foul so far. So that'll send Alger up to the line here for 2. First one bounces around and out.
Shane, correct me if I'm wrong, but I still don't think the Gladiators have attempted a free throw in this ball game.
They have not. Nope. Nope, it has been all Boyne City so far on the free throw side of things as Harrison Shepard comes back in for the Gladiators. Eli Bigger taking care of the rebound duties here. Inbound duties, I should say, gets it off to Bobrowski. Gladiators have gone scoreless in the last about 3 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, just 2 points in the quarter.
Ogden no good on the shot there, but he does draw the foul.
You know, that's what they need to do. When they get a chance to get a ball reversal, they need to try and penetrate quickly off of that ball reversal, just like Ogden did on that possession.
So that'll go on Chaz Stanek, his first so far tonight. Drew Neer with the steal. That one bounces all the way around right in front of us. That'll be off. Drew Neer, the ref says, so that will remain Gladiator ball with Bigger once again taking care of the inbound duties. 2:13 to go in the first half. Pass to Shepard. Shepard driving, gets to the top of the arc before he gets it back over to Ogden. Ogden was taking a moment on the bench. Back into the game he comes. No good. That was an airballed shot by Bobrowski. Glad's right there to pick it back up. He'll try again and drains it. That is number 1, Max Ogden.
And they're going to count the basket. And there was a loose ball foul. It'll be called against Boyne City. The refs are talking right now to determine if that shot was in the act of shooting or if it was not during the act of shooting. We got a replay that we're going to show regarding that sequence. So this is the replay right here. You're viewing it. The skip pass to Ogden, and the foul was inside. So they're going to say that it's Gladiator ball now.
Well, this will be a good opportunity for the Glads to try and capitalize here, make it a 5-point or 6-point play if they can. 3 points there most recently off of Ogden, back within a 1-possession game, 16-14. Driving we go, Ogden once again, and he ties the ball game up single-handedly.
Yeah, he had a 5-point possession by himself, Shane.
You don't hear that too much, Charles. 5-point possession all from Ogden. Single-handedly bringing the Glads right back into this one, 16 apiece. Chaz Stanek no good from the 3-point line. Rakovic there to pick it right back up, though. 1:20 to go in the first half. Tie ball game at 16 apiece. In we go. No good on the shot, but we do have yet another foul. That's Alger that drove it in.
Yeah, Alger picked up the foul, or excuse me, he drew the foul. Eli Bigger called with the personal foul. That's his second personal. So Alger going to the free throw line. Boyne City kind of living at the free throw line. I'm sure that their coaching staff is probably a little displeased with their efficiency at the free throw line tonight. They could be up by a handful or more if they're able to make these free throws, as they miss yet another.
That's 3 straight now that they've missed, and I believe they've only made 2 of their attempts so far. So you're exactly right, Charles. They could be up by probably at least a good 5 to 6 more points right now if they were to have made all those. As Elger looking to make this one here and bring him back into the lead. That one falls in. So the Gladiators with 6 fouls so far in this quarter. The Ramblers with 2.
And Ramblers in the double bonus for the last 1 minute and 12 seconds of the half.
Pass inside we go. Minute and 5 seconds to go here in the first half. Gladiators down by 1, 17-16. Ogden taking the ball, staring against Rakovic. Gets it back over to Shepard. He'll work his way around the arc now.
Yeah, the Gladiators came out with a little horn set look there to try to get a open look.
Isaac Kerr back over to Borer. Now to Shepard. That one falls just short and picked back up by Ryan Spate.
That was a well-executed set by the Gladiators, just unable to knock down the three-pointer by Shepard.
Gladiators have been a bit cold so far tonight on the three-point side of things. And in shooting overall, both teams have been only 17-16. A combined 33 points between the two teams, but here we go. Shepard with the steal. Can he get the basket? No, he cannot. Going back the other way. 17 seconds. Junior left by himself. Cannot get that one to fall in either. The Gladiators and Isaac Kerr were right there to get the rebound.
And Kerr's fouled, so that no harm, no foul. Ramblers still with one more foul to give, but you can tell that the level of physicality here has certainly elevated in the second half, or second quarter, I should say.
That's exactly right. So they're actually going to put that foul on number 14, Owen Hewitt, for the Ramblers. Glad's taken back over, 10 seconds to go. 1 point differential between the two teams still. The shot up and away, no good. The rebound by Kerr. He's not able to get that one to fall in either. So, ladies and gentlemen, after 16 minutes of action, we've got a close one here in downtown Traverse City. 17-16, the Ramblers over the Glads, Charles.
Woo, man. You know, I told you this was going to be a tight one coming into this thing, and it was a 2-point game at the end of the first quarter, and it's a 1-point game after one half of play. Right now, the physicality, I would say, being determined by the Ramblers. Gladiators just unable to really get their offensive execution to go the way they want it to go. So, as I said, coming into this game, the key for Boyne City was defensive rebounding. The key for the Gladiators was not turning over the basketball. We saw in the first quarter the Gladiators had some issues turning the basketball over. And offensively for the Ramblers, they're up by quite a few more points if they're able to just make some more free throws.
No doubt about it. The Gladiators are glad that they didn't make even half of those free throws. They'd be up by 3 or 4 more points by now. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. We got about 9 minutes till the next half comes in, Charles, but I'm sure we've got a bit of a halftime show coming up.
Yeah, we certainly do. And when we come back, we'll have the John Deere Hudson halftime show. But before we do, we got a little encore presentation of the showcase hype video. The showcase coming back to Traverse City St. Francis High School February 10th. If you haven't heard about it or seen the Northern Michigan Showcase, it's a one-of-a-kind event that you need to be a part of, and you can be a part of it in many different ways, and you can get a contact with Next Level Broadcasting, myself, if you want to be a part of it and sponsor or advertise or just be affiliated in any way or shape or form with the Northern Michigan Showcase this year. Take a look. And we'll be back with the John Deere Hudson halftime show in about 2.5 minutes.
The Northern Michigan Showcase between teams all across the state, all divisions, all athletic abilities.
Nausatis all the way to the free throw line. Tried to get it to Hagelstein, but it was stolen. Nausatis gets it right back.
Oh, he's going to
Triple.
pull it.
Got it.
Oh, huge shot.
Hagelston through the contact. There's a cup guarded by Nausatis, and it's stolen away.
Welcome to Hudson's, where we strive to be more than a dealer, and we work hard to pair you with the right equipment. Whether your land spans thousands of acres or just a small yard, come visit us. At Hudson, we provide the service and expertise to get the job done right. And for a limited time, get 0% for 84 months on select John Deere compact utility tractors. To get a quote, come into your local Hudson or visit us online at hudsony.com.
With more than 18 years of construction and deck building experience, Renew It Decks and Outdoor Living wants you to know that they can customize and turn your deck and outdoor living space into something right out of your dreams. But wait, Renew It Decks and Outdoor Living is now hiring employees in the Grand Traverse area, featuring a competitive industry wage, 5 weeks of paid time off, profit sharing, a 401k match program, health insurance options, advancement opportunities, and full-time year-round work. For job inquiries, call 1-231-881-6282.
Twin Bay Dock's exclusive diamond pattern is stylish to complement your waterfront property. It's quality built to last a lifetime. Engineered to be stronger, our non-skid surface stays cool to the touch, and we offer a full line of dock accessories, including kayak and supboard racks. To see all we have to offer, visit our website to find a dealer near you. Twin Bay Docks, simply exceptional quality.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Okay, well, welcome into the John Deere Hudson halftime show here on Next Level Broadcasting. Midway through halftime between the Ramblers and the Gladiators, it's a 1-point advantage for the Boyne City Ramblers after 16 minutes of play here from Traverse City St. Francis High School. Charles Strail along with Shane Smith and Burr Aubrey bringing this game to you. We thank you for making us a part of your Wednesday evening wherever you're tuning in and watching live from. We appreciate it. And if you get an opportunity to thank some of the sponsors that make it possible for us to bring these games to you, certainly let them know that you were watching from so-and-so in the country or with so many members of your family, making this possible for us to be being broadcast in basketball, and you can be enjoying basketball and not really having to be here and being able to watch wherever you're watching from around the world. So, Shane, a little scoring update for both teams. Let's break down the leading scorers here and just kind of go over that general scoring for each team so far after 16 minutes of play.
Well, I got to say there isn't a whole lot for scoring. I mean, your scoring leader is Max Ogden across both teams with 9 points. The next highest would be Jaden Alger for the Ramblers with 7 points. Otherwise, it's just a total of 3 points for Miller, 2 points for Bobrowski, and 2 points for Borer. And 2 points for Stanek, 3 points for Ryan Spate, and 2 points for Drew Neer. So not a whole lot going on so far. There's a fair balance. You know, each team has 4 different players so far who have scored, but it's been pretty much a defensive battle the whole time, and especially a masterclass by the Ramblers so far in providing that excellent coverage under the basket against the Gladiators, but also forcing a lot of turnovers so far.
And that's one of the things that the Ramblers have been proficient at, is forcing Gladiator turnovers. St. Francis defensively has been allowing the Ramblers to get to the free throw line early and often. The story, though, Boyne City unable to convert at the free throw line.
Right. Yep.
If they're able to convert at maybe a 75 to 80% or clip at the free throw line, they're probably got about a 4 or 5 point lead instead of just a 1 point advantage going into halftime. So instead of a possession game, they could be up by 2 possessions.
And that leaves the Gladiators unproven at the line, too. They have not had one opportunity to do so far tonight, so that could have helped them out quite a bit as well. But the foul trouble has rested squarely on the Gladiators' shoulders so far. Bigger, Millward, and Kerr all with 2 fouls apiece so far, so we're hoping to see that they can keep a good, clean game here going into the second half to make sure that they stay in, as they're obviously, as you know, Charles, such pivotal parts of this Gladiator team.
And that certainly is going to be something to keep an eye on here, Shane, as those 3 players affected the way that their offense flows. Especially being able to recognize different coverages that Boyne City is going to play. Those are 3 pretty seniored players. They're not all seniors, but they have a lot of experience playing basketball and playing together. So when you combine them and have all 3 of them sitting on the bench, you lose that mental acuteness to read coverages, read what the defense is doing, and ultimately just react and just go play basketball.
Now, Charles, who was the 30-point scorer? Who has been that all season? That has been Ogden?
That's Max Ogden,
Max
yes.
Ogden. Okay, so that's another thing that we'll have to watch out for. So far, like I said, he's only scored 9 points across the first half, so he's got a lot of room left to improve here in the second half, so we'll be looking for him to start firing on all cylinders, so we hope, in the second half of this game.
So if you're looking at this from a glass half full perspective from a Gladiator standpoint, you've had 3 players, key contributing players, on the bench with 2 fouls in the first half, and you're only down by 1 point.
Yep.
If you look at this from a Boyne City glass half full perspective, you've got to the free throw line. You haven't allowed the Gladiators to get to the free throw line. You're rebounding very well, and some of your shots just aren't falling.
Right.
So both teams, I would say, had pretty positive halftime experiences. Both coaches with a lot to kind of clean up, but you got to like where you're at in this game from both teams' perspective, because basically a go-anyway game right now, as it's only a 1-point advantage for the Ramblers at halftime.
I mean, you're basically with a fresh slate here going into the second half. Both teams might as well be 0-0 going into this, and we're starting a new game. It's a clean slate here for both teams, neck-and-neck game, hard-fought, very evenly matched between these two, and as we have just about 20 seconds left to go until the half begins with number 3, Eli Bigger, right in front of us. Charles, I'm excited to see how this one wraps up tonight.
Yeah, well, everybody tuning in, this has been the Hudson John Deere halftime show, third quarter action. About 6 seconds from getting underway here. High school basketball on Next Level Broadcast. And where else would you want to be, Shane? I don't know.
I don't know either, Charles. This is a luxury right here to be able to have high school basketball in your own living room in weather like this. So thank you all for tuning in as we're just about ready to get underway here in downtown Traverse City. Bigger, staring down the air, gets the ball off right away to Shepard, and here we go. Gladiators once again down only 1 point, 17-16 after a hard-fought defensive battle between the two teams in the first half. Max Ogden, the scoring leader, of course, for tonight's game so far, gets it back over to Shepard. Now to Bigger. Working his way around, we go to Bobrowski. Shepard takes it back over once again. Boyne City still as relentless as ever inside the paint for their defensive efforts, keeping Traverse City to pass this one around the perimeter. Bobrowski taking a moment here to reset. 40 seconds on this possession so far for the Glads. As this goes back over now to Bobrowski.
Oh, man, they missed a cutter. Isaac Kerr was wide open underneath the basket.
So Ogden will take it back over. Almost 60 seconds in this possession so far. Boyne City relentless as ever at the moment.
Interesting to see Boyne City switching those high ball screens up top.
Harrison Shepard not able to get that one to go in. The rebound no good either by Isaac Kerr. Gladiators with a third chance. That one falls just short and into the hands now of Ryan Spate. And after a 65-second possession, the Ramblers get it back in their possession.
I tell you what, Shane, the ability for Boyne City to guard for extended possessions. I mean, the Gladiators had 2 offensive rebounds there, and the Ramblers still didn't give up a point.
Right. I mean, that's a lot of stamina with that team right there, but we do have an interception turnover. There you go. Max Ogden taking that one coast to coast, gets tripped up. He'll hit the floor and hit the free throw line here with the Gladiators' first opportunity in this game. to get some points from the charity stripe.
Yeah, the first free throws of the contest for the Gladiators as Max Ogden, their leading scorer in the first half, steps to the line.
Gets that one to drain in. If you're the Ramblers, that's not the player you wanted to follow right there, as he has lights out from the free throw line for sure. Ties it back up here, 17 apiece. Two for two, bringing the Gladiators back to the lead, the first time they've had the lead since midway through the second quarter. And Chad Stanek now with the ball, nearly loses control of it, gets it back over to Near, and inside we go. Stanek driving, gets it off, no good on the three-point opportunity. Boyne City there to try and pick it up. Ramblers and the Glads scrambling. We've got a jump ball scenario, and the possession arrow will favor the Ramblers.
Yeah, it was a good baseline pass, open shot in the corner for Stanek, but just a little short trying to knock that one down from the corner, which is statistically the most efficient three-point shot on the floor.
Well, I couldn't make much of efficiency. Whenever I played basketball, that was always my worst shot. But here we go. That's why I'm calling the game and not playing it. Number 2, Chad Stanek gets the 2 points.
Actually, they were going to wave it,
okay,
waving it off, saying that it was a charge called before Stanek got that drop-off dish.
All right. So he picks up his first foul of the game. And we go back the other way now. The Gladiators taking control, 5:42 to go already in the third quarter.
I believe that foul was called on Spate, Shane.
Okay. Ramblers taking it right back the other way with Stanek right in front of us. Gets it off to Spate now. The curly-haired man down there on the floor, not able to get that one to go in, but gets the foul. Yeah, that's quite the head of hair, Charles. I think you sported a hairdo like that at one point in time.
Maybe at one point in time, you know, got to give credit where credit is due. That is a nice do for Spate.
Okay.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did. That was good. A little cheesy, but it was good. Well, Spate was not able to get that one to fall in, so the best he can do is tie up his team with the Glads right now.
Yeah, the free throw woes are continuing for the Ramblers.
My goodness, Charles, you're right. This may be one of the lowest percentage free throw shooting games I've seen in quite a while, and that's what's keeping the Gladiators right in this game so far. Harrison Shepard with the pass to Bobrowski. That one falls around and out. Drew Near there to pick it back up.
Shane, speaking of free throws, I want to give a shout out. My mom was a graduate of Boyne City High School. Claimed she never missed a free throw, but
you know, I'd believe it.
Yeah,
she seems to be quite the talented ball player.
She did score more than 1,000 points, so maybe she never did miss a free throw. But
well, Charles, you know her better than I do. Yeah, here we go. The Ramblers with another turnover. This time, Eli Bigger taking care of the inbound duties here. 4:50 to go in the third quarter. The score has not changed. About the last minute and a half plus of gameplay now.
Well, yeah, that's only been 2 points scored in the quarter. It was the free throws by Max Ogden.
That's right. Speaking of Ogden, he's the one with the ball right now, looking for somebody to get it off to here. Gladiators in no hurry as the time ticks down under 4.5 minutes.
Yeah,
Harrison Shepard.
Looks like they were trying to get a little rub action for both Ogden and Shepard. Look for like a double screen here.
Now, Charles, at some point you'll have to explain to me what rub action means in basketball with a bunch of guys on the floor. But in the meantime, the Glads taking it right back around to Ogden in the paint. Over to Shepard once again, trying to drive it in. Not been very successful so far tonight, and that continues here. The Glads trying to get the rebound, does not work. Alger.
Man, it's an absolute war down there on these defensive rebounds.
Here we are, Ryan Spate with the pass around inside now to Stanek. He goes up for two and gets the foul.
That was nice. The Ramblers had a little elbow dribble handoff on a big-to-big exchange. Alger got it from Stanek got it from Alger, and that's a nice-looking play. Good set for the Ramblers, able to get Stanek going downhill, and he was even going to his offhand and finished it with authority at the rim.
So that'll give Isaac Kerr his third foul now. We were talking about that foul trouble at the beginning of the half-time break. So we'll see how that works out for him as he'll be on the bench now for a little bit. And Stanek there able to make that free throw. Breaks the curse that the Ramblers have had over the last few attempts, and he gets 5 points now to his tally. Ogden driving that one in, draws the foul.
So you can see so far in the third quarter, Max Ogden has been sizably more aggressive trying to get to the basket, in my opinion. He's been to the free throw line twice in this game, but he's had a couple different drives where he's been able to break down the defense. Let's see if he's able to continue that here in the second half.
So Stanek picks up his second foul. No good on the shot from Ogden. And Alger was right there to pick it back up. You're exactly right, Charles. I was noticing that myself. Ogden has been much more apt to drive it into the paint instead of staying out on the perimeter to try for his typical three-point shots. And Stanek drives in for two more and draws yet another foul under the basket.
Chaz Stanek taking over right now. Opportunity to score the last 6 points for the Ramblers. He's got the last 5. He can make it 6 in a row if he's able to knock down this free throw. And that was a grown man's finish. He went through the contact and played it nice and soft off the window.
Stanek 3 for 3 now from the free throw line. As Borer picks up his second foul, opening this lead now to the biggest we've seen so far tonight. 5 points, 23-18 between the two teams. The Ramblers on top.
A little high ball screen, trying to get a duck into Millward, but nicely defended by the Ramblers.
Pass inside, broken up. The Ramblers coming away with it here not before a skirmish though. And we've got a jump ball, arrow favoring the Glads.
Well, there's been a lot of skirmishes out there tonight. I mean, you need to pack a lunch if you want to play in this thing. You
I guess so.
I hope you packed an ice pack in your bag. You can put that on the car ride home or the bus ride home if you're Boyne City.
You know what? I think some of these players were wishing they brought up some of their knee pads and helmets and chest pads and everything, as we've got 2 points there scored by
Millward. Yeah, Millward got that one on a really nice slip after he set the screen up top, went right to the rim on a dive.
Yeah, some of these boys are missing their football pads for sure, as the shot was no good there by Ryder Peck, number 13 on your screen. Bobrowski with the pass. Around we go. No good on the shot from Ogden. That one fell well short. 2:22 to go now in the third quarter. 23-20. Glad's down by as much as 5, back within a 3-point game. Good save there, not before going out of bounds. And that will remain Boyne City ball.
Well, so far in the third quarter, Shane, both these teams kind of keeping the same pace scoring-wise that we had in the first 2 quarters. Boyne City picking it up just a tad with 6 points scored in the quarter. St. Francis with 4. Stanek trying to do his thing once again, and he gets a nice little 15-foot baseline J to go. Stanek with the last 8 points for the Ramblers all by himself.
That's a pretty hard clip for the Gladiators to face against right now. A one-man show scoring 8 points. Ogden trying to get that one to fall in, not getting a Gladiator bounce there. And that'll go back in the favor of the Ramblers, up 25-20 now.
And this is a tough place to inbound the ball for Boyne City. Can't move, and they just got to try and get it out of that coffin corner.
Cameron Rakovic with the ball as my live flash before my eyes. The ball was coming right for me. Thankfully, he was there. Harrison Shepard driving it in, gets the bucket and the foul.
Man, that was a big-time momentum swing play for the Gladiators as Shepard was able to finish through the contact. And it seems like any time the Gladiators over the last 2 to 3 games needed a big play, it's been Harrison Shepard to kind of kick the tires and ignite the party. And he did just that.
His first 2 points of the night, but 2 very crucial points here in a crucial moment of the game. Trying to bring it back within 2 points now as he goes to the line. Up and away, and it's good. Shepard, 3-point play there the old-fashioned way, brings the Gladiators right back within 2 of the Ramblers. We've got another steal off Stanek losing control. The shot up and away, and it's in. The Gladiators take the lead off of a Harrison Shepard 6-point play.
And just like that, Shane, Harrison Shepard putting 6 points on the board for the Gladiators at a very pivotal time.
Yeah.
They were down, well, they were down by 5 points when he decided to go on a little scoring spree.
Yeah.
And we got a little commercial queued up. Or not a commercial, but we're going to show that highlight package by Harrison Shepard, basically by himself. As we got it right here, the Gladiators forcing that pressure. And Harrison Shepard got it back in the corner, and he knocked down that three-pointer.
What a beauty.
So, I mean, Shepard leading the charge for the Gladiators as he got the and one on the previous possession, the 3 ball from the corner pocket, as they like to say it nowadays. And it's a 1 point game, and stop me if you've heard it before, but we've got a 1 point game between the Gladiators and the Ramblers.
I might have heard it a time or two before, Charles, but I'm not going to stop you because that's just the energy that this game has right now. I mean, down to the wire the whole time. This is going to be a photo finish in the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm sure the ladies and gentlemen at home watching this were happy that Harrison Shepard decided to make that little scoring spree there for sure. 6 points now once again, all on his own there as he comes off of a Chas Stanek 8-point run of their own to bring the Ramblers up at 5 points above before the Gladiators took back over. Ramblers working their way down now. A long pass right around we go to Spate. Inside to Alger, back over to Stanek. And broken up once again by the Gladiators. Just as you said, Charles, a bit of a momentum change we have here in store as the Gladiators working their way around. That's 14. Borer, no good on the 3-point shot. And that'll go back in the hands of the Ramblers.
Yeah, good rotation. Borer was the open man, stepped into it, just unable to knock it down.
Stanek to Spate. 45 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Ramblers still maintaining a 1-point lead, 26-25. Spate to Alger. He drains those two.
Yeah, good job of being patient and breaking the press, finding the open Alger on the baseline for the easy deuce.
This quarter began with a 1-point Boyne City 17-16 lead. It's a 27-26 lead that the Ramblers have over the Glads now, 20 seconds to go.
Look for a little high ball screen action here if they're unable to get a post entry.
Mags Ogden. The pass inside to Millward. He's trying for it. 4 seconds to go. Ogden, the man with the ball, trying to get the shot off. Oh, no good. Shepard with not enough time before the buzzer goes off, so that'll remain a 1-point lead the Ramblers have over the Glads, 27-16, a 10-point quarter for each team.
Well, we came into this quarter with a 1-point game. We're going out of the quarter with a 1-point game. And all of our people watching at home, I wouldn't have it any other way here. I'm sitting courtside, but if you're sitting couch side, you got to be pretty pleased with what you're seeing so far here going into the fourth quarter between these two Lake Michigan Conference opponents. We're going to step aside and be back with the fourth quarter action coming up on Next Level Broadcasting's coverage of high school basketball.
Twin Bay Dock's exclusive diamond pattern is stylish to complement your waterfront property. It's quality built to last a lifetime. Engineered to be stronger, our non-skid surface stays cool to the touch, and we offer a full line of dock accessories, including kayak and supboard racks. To see all we have to offer, visit our website to find a dealer near you. Twin Bay Docks, simply exceptional quality.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We want to take a second to thank our friends at Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport. You know what? It's time to get away to your dream destination. Beat the winter and fly TVC to the sun and sand. Looking for your spring getaway? Book today. That's with Allegiant, American, Delta, Sun Country, and United, and they're all getting you to where you want to go. Visit tvcairport.com for the up-to-date and up-to-the-minute flight schedules. We've got to travel there on the Ramblers, going back the other way now in favor of the Glads. 7:50 to go in the game. 27-26 score. Each team had 10 points scored in this previous quarter. That just goes to show how big of a defensive battle it has been. Harrison Shepard working the ball around to Max Ogden now to J.P. Miller. Shepard once again. Finds a man, gets it back over to Miller now outside. He'll try and drive it in for his own. No good. Back over to Ogden. Boyne City stuffing the Gladiators there under the basket, but Ogden trying for three. That one falls off the front of the rim. Picked back up by Ryan Spaten. Here we go, back the other way, 7:20 to go.
Yeah, big time rebound by Spate to clear that off the glass and limit the Gladiators to only one shot attempt, Shane.
Chaz Stanek, all he can handle, gets it off to Spate, no good. A scrum there under the basket. Glads finally get it to go back the other way with Ogden in control. Off to Shepard now. Glads taking a moment here to set some things up, Charles.
Yeah, I think this is a wise play, kind of catch your breath a little bit. They've been expending a lot of energy defensively, and now they can do that on the offensive end here.
Harrison Shepard driving his way in, will pick up that foul. Hits a hard knock to the floor.
Well, I mean, Harrison Shepard has been the engine that's been driving the Gladiators so far here in the last 4 minutes of game time, Shane. I mean, this is an opportunity for him to get his 7th and 8th point within that 4-minute time window.
Well, there's number 7. That foul will go on. Number 3, Ryan Spate. He picks up his second foul now. Harrison Shepard with 7 points so far tonight. Number 3, Eli Bigger, coming back in for the Glads. The other side of this, 6.5 minutes of game time left to go. Tie ball game at the moment. Shepard drains it. The Glads take a 28-27 lead now, as the Ramblers take it back over with Spate. On the, I apologize, they're going to place Ryder Peck there on the line to get it off to Spate now. The shot up and away, no good. Back into the hands of Elger. He gets the rebound, not able to get it off the glass. Wow, what a tumble that was. And Bobrowski able to come away with it there from a hard-fought possession. Ogden wanted to take that three-pointer. He was loaded up and ready to go. Gets it back over to Bobrowski. Now Ogden once again. Six minutes exactly here to go in the game, as Eli Bigger has the ball working against Peck. Ogden working his way around the top of the arc, trying to get something to go here. The only points that have come from the Gladiators so far this quarter is from the Harrison Shepard free throws. And that'll be a foul on Peck right there in front of us. That'll be his second now. Team's second this quarter. Bobrowski, the pass off to Miller. 5:40 to go in the game, 28-27 score. Eli Bigger inside, right back around we go to Ogden. He gets them to fall right in. That is a 14-point game now for the young man.
It looks like the foul called in the backcourt going against J.P. Miller. Just an aggressive foul by J.P. trying to just get a little steal, but unable to do so. Got a little bit too much wrist.
His first foul. The Gladiators taking a 4-point, 31-27 lead now, the biggest lead that they've had since the first quarter. Elger passing around to Hewitt now. Hewitt, all he can handle against number 4, Millward. Gets it back over to Spate.
Yeah, a little pick and roll, and the Ramblers weren't able to execute it as Spate and Stanek have a little miscommunication. Also, it didn't look like Spate really waited for Stanek to set that pick and roll. So maybe a little more patience needed by Spate. Wait for Stonick to actually make some contact there.
Well, here we are. Bigger. Right around we go to Miller now. Back to Ogden. He's got the ball once again at the top of the arc. Looking to try and get something to go in here so the Gladiators can expand their 4-point lead currently as he gets it back over to Bobrovsky.
This is a big possession for the Gladiators right now. Opportunity to go up by 3 possessions. Also a big defensive possession for the Raiders for that, or the Ramblers for that very reason.
Exactly right. They've been lights out under the basket so far. And we've got a foul called. We'll see who that's on here in just a moment. That'll be on number 3, Ryan Spate, his third. Team's third. Spade also with 3 points. A lot of threes up there on the board. As the Gladiators, just as Charles mentioned, are looking to make this a 3-possession game. Ogden, the pass tipped away, not before J.P. Miller can get back to it. Gladiators reset with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, they're very fortunate to get that ball back.
J.P. Miller not able to get that one in, gets his own rebound back over to Millward. He goes up for 2, no good. And that's Spate coming back down with it for the Ramblers. He powers his way into the paint, goes for the layup, blocked once again. Bobrovsky under there to pick it back up. And Boyne City taking a well-deserved timeout here, looking to talk things over with 3:46 to go on the other side of this, a 4-point lead that the Glads have at the moment, Charles.
Well, this has been a highly contested affair. I mean, you look at these two teams, the size that they both have inside. We talked about it in the pregame show leading up to this. Isaac Kerr and Millward going up against Stanek and Alger. That's been the matchup of the night, in my opinion. Just seeing those guys go at it. 4 big, tall, lanky guys just battling down in the paint. And then you have somebody like Spate for Boyne City who's willing to mix it up, even though he's not as tall. But, man, pound for pound, maybe one of the strongest guys on the floor along with Harrison Shepard. So the matchups of these two teams that they have that are similar and the personnel that they have are so similar that it's almost like watching a mirror match as these two teams are just going at it. And it's been a pleasure to watch this one on display so far. I mean, the 8-point run by Stanek and then the 8-point run by Shepard, those two individual scoring spurts kind of canceling each other out. But we'll see which team will be able to execute best going down the stretch here, taking care of the basketball, getting good quality shots, and then making free throws.
Well, while we have a moment here, we might have to wait to the other side of this. We do want to take a moment to thank our friends at Hudson John Deere. Yet we will wait here as Harrison Shepard has control of the ball right now. 3:40 to go in the game. Back over to Ogden. Eli Bigger loses control of that one, and that will fall in the hands of the Ramblers. Well, here we go. Hudson John Deere. The season's changed, but the chores never stop. It's time to gear up for fall with a John Deere compact tractor from Hudson. Now, it's no longer fall, but you can still use those tractors for plowing that snow. I tell you what. They have plenty of inventory and thousands in savings. A John Deere compact tractor from Hudson. Your chores just got easier. See more for yourself at HudsonInc.com.
Well, Shane, the Gladiators just turned that one over, so the Ramblers, after that timeout, +1 in the turnover margin. See if they can execute now off the Gladiator giveaway.
Well, we've got Ryan Spate with all he can handle, double team there by the Glads, and the Ramblers have to take the timeout there.
So St. Francis with 4 timeouts left, Boyne City with 3 timeouts left. So that'll be something that we'll monitor going forward. Actually, Boyne City now only with 2 timeouts because they just used that 30-second timeout. So right now, I think both teams, as we update you with where we're at in this game, St. Francis only with 1 team foul, Boyne City with 3 team fouls. So Boyne City with 1 foul to give before the Gladiators will be shooting the double bonus at the line. And this right now is really where the rule change in high school basketball this year comes into great effect. When you get to 5 team fouls, both teams shoot 2 free throws. So if you're a team that's trailing, you don't really have that added advantage of the opposing team shooting the 1-and-1. It's a 2-shot penalty now once you reach 5 fouls. So it makes it much more difficult to mount comebacks.
Well, that's interesting, Charles. I'm glad you explained that to me because I was wondering myself what the rule change was all about there. As we've got Drew near back over to Chaz Stanek now. 3:15 in the game. And a foul right away there on, I believe that was 3 bigger. Yes, indeed it was. He picks up his third now. The Glads, 2 players with 3 fouls apiece.
His 4th personal.
Oh, I apologize. Yes, his 4th foul. So he's got 4 and Isaac Kerr with 3. As Chaz Stanek now taken back over for the Ramblers.
And I think Stanek's got to be the guy that stirs the drink.
Oof, well, Junior tried to get that 3 to fall in. No good, but Cameron Rakovich gets his first 2 points in the night in a big way, bringing the Ramblers back within 1 possession, 31-29.
Yeah, Rakovich just bailed out near. That was probably not the shot that Boyne City wanted.
Ogden, no good. That one falls off the front of the rim. Going back the other way in the hands of Stanek.
And if I'm Boyne City right now, I'm running something for Chaz Stanek to get the ball, catch it, and go downhill.
2:33, Alger loses control of that one. Boyne City not happy with the call there. That it will remain Gladiator possession.
Oh yeah, the turnover there for Boyne City. Now, since that timeout taken, and since I mentioned it, both teams with 1 turnover in this time span since I brought it up. So who can execute and play the cleanest game going down the stretch will most likely determine who wins this one.
Well, Max Ogden here has played a very clean game so far. For his 14 points scored, not 1 foul on his tally as he gets that one off to near. Inside we go. The Gladiators score on number 2, J.P. Miller.
And Miller with the nice assist, and Millward was able to get the basket down on the block.
Junior trying to answer right back. No good. Alger picks it back up, and that'll fall back in the hands of Ogden. As he works his way around, minute 45 to go in the game.
Yeah, St. Francis looks like they're going to try to get into a little 2-minute offense here with 1 minute 40 seconds to go. But what that means is they want to use as much clock as possible and force Boyne City to foul. Boyne City with 1 foul to give, so St. Francis will still not shoot the double bonus. But now the next team foul will put the Gladiators to the free throw line for 2 free throws.
Well, that'll leave Stanek to pick up his 3rd foul now. And we have Harrison Shepard right here next to us, taking care of the inbound duties, flings that one off to Miller. And a steal by Owen Hewitt. He takes it in, gets the layup. 2-point game now, 33-31. Owen Hewitt also with his first 2 points of the game.
That was a big-time defensive play by Hewitt, and Boyne City picking up the defensive pressure, almost getting a turnover right back.
Miller trying to find somebody. My goodness, Hewitt all over that one. Gets it right back over to Stanek now, keeping the possession in the hands of the Ramblers.
Man,
Hewitt.
That's 2 big-time plays by Hewitt.
But he's hurt now. He's paying for it a little bit. He's got some ankle trouble. That one knocked away, and that will fall in the hands of the Ramblers. Minute and 9 seconds to go, 33-31 game.
You know, Shane, both these teams lay it all on the line, don't they?
My God. You see Hewitt there struggling to walk along on the sideline. So we've got number 4, Cameron Rakovich, coming back in to replace him. Jim grows quiet for a moment. The anticipation builds. 68 seconds left to go. Spate gets it around inside now to Alger. No good. Stanek there to pick it back up, and he ties the ball game with 55 seconds to go. Stanek with 12 points in tonight's tally. Harrison Shepard taking a moment here, trying to burn up as much clock as they can. Under 45 seconds now. 33-point game between the 2 teams right now.
Yeah, Shane, I wouldn't be surprised if the Gladiators hold this for the final shot of the contest.
Well, if this goes into overtime, Charles, I don't know how much we can handle it here. This has been an incredible defensive battle right down to the wire as Harrison Shepard here burning the clock, now under 20 seconds left to go.
Boyne City with no fouls to give. So if Boyne City happens to foul on a drive, or if one of their defenders loses his footing and has to foul, it'll put the Gladiators to the free throw line. So right now the Gladiators trying to draw something up in the timeout. See what they can come up with here. They'll have 15 seconds remaining. As I said earlier, Boyne City, no fouls to give.
Right.
So any contact that the Gladiators can create, if the referees deem it as contact that's prohibiting that player from getting closer to the basket, that'll be forced to call a foul.
You know, this puts in a new wrinkle that I never quite understood now until you explained it here, how that foul situation works with the quarters. You know, an automatic 2 shots at the free throw line, and that could be definitely a game changer here as both teams have it knotted up.
Especially in games where it's tied.
Yeah.
One team on their next foul, the other team will be shooting. If it's a 1-and-1, it's a completely different scenario. But when it's 2 shots and you're guaranteed 2 shots, it has a completely different mental framing.
Oh, no doubt
on
about it.
The players shooting those free throws.
Yeah. 2 chances, no matter what, can do a world of good for anybody at the free throw line. But here we go. Bobrowski will be taking care of the inbound duties. 15.4 ticks left to go on the clock. Knotted up at 33 apiece. Right off to Shepard immediately. Ticking down under 12 seconds. Shepard.
And another timeout taken. I think Boyne City wanted to see what kind of alignment and personnel St. Francis came out with. And it's a use it or lose it timeout for the Ramblers.
Right.
Actually, that timeout was taken by St. Francis. I apologize. But for the Gladiators, that timeout there, it gives you a chance to see what Boyne City is going to do. In most cases, when you take that timeout, you want to see if Boyne City is going to come out in man or zone, because oftentimes coaches will play a game within the game. And you might think that the opposing coach is drawing something up for a man defense, and then wham, the rug gets pulled out from the other one, and the other team comes out in a zone defense. So you almost have to have 2 plays called in the timeout huddle right now, and maybe that's what head coach for the Gladiators, Sean Finnegan, is talking about. And it's also interesting what head coach Rob Jensen for the Ramblers is talking about, just designing here to put a little wrinkle in this defense to see if they can throw a curveball at the Gladiators.
Well, a curveball is what the Ramblers will need here with only 10 seconds to work with once the ball hits the floor in downtown Traverse City, in the home of the Gladiators, right here. And we're happy to bring this one to you as Max Ogden is the one bringing this one in. Not what I would have drawn up, but here we go. Harrison Shepard in control of the ball once again. He'll take it, drives, goes for the layup, falls away, no good. Millward there. He draws the foul.
It was knocked out of bounds, not a foul called. So they'll have 1.4 seconds. And another timeout taken by Boyne City. Harrison Shepard got to his spot. We're going to cue up that replay here, but Harrison Shepard certainly got to his spot and just wasn't able to knock it down. So, I mean, I like the play call. They ran a little high ball screen. Get burned by it. So we've seen Boyne City come out man-to-man over the last couple of possessions and plays. Hey, but this is what it boils down to right here. That's why we love high school basketball.
Oh, God, do we ever, Charles. 1.5 seconds to go. These last 10 seconds have gone by in about 3 minutes. Under the basket, Millward. It falls in. It rumbles around and falls in, and the Gladiators, with the buzzer beater, win over the Ramblers.
Oh, my goodness. Isaiah Millward with the buzzer beater.
Wow.
And let me tell you what, I'm really glad that we've got a replay setting here, Shane. We're going to get that one queued up because
it drew with it. Not only did it not go in right away, but it bounced around the rim 3-4 different times and finally fell in well after the buzzer had gone off. What a shot that was. What a bunch of toughness that Millward held on to there in order to get his sixth point there on that final shot to bring the Glads up to a 35-33 win over the Ramblers.
Between the free throws win ball games, as a lot of people like to say. So, Shane, that's pretty much going to do it for tonight's game. Absolutely stunner. I shouldn't say stunner, but thriller.
Thriller. I just can't believe that I've been a part of the two most recent buzzer beater games that Next Level Broadcasting has brought. And unfortunately for Boyne City, both against them. I called the Charlevoix game, buzzer beater there from Troy Nickel. I call this game, and we've got a buzzer beater from Isaiah Millward. I mean, you can't get any more entertaining than that. So, Charles, I'm sure you want to close this one off so we can all get packed up and head home.
Well, for all of our sponsors tonight, we want to thank you for allowing this game to be brought to everybody who was tuning in, watching it, enjoying it from couch side.
Yeah.
That's the new line at Next Level Broadcasting, bringing it to everybody couch side. So we want to thank our friends at the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, Hudson John Deere, Green Mitt Car Wash, Farm Bureau, and Pop Excavating, and Culver Meadows. And lastly, Renew It Decks and Outdoor Exteriors for making this game possible. So for tonight's coverage, myself, Charles Strail, Shane Smith, and Burr Aury, we thank you for making us a part of your Wednesday evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Until next time, everyone, have a great night.